Government officials, business leaders, and community leaders will all be getting together in a couple of hours for the National Urban League. It's hosting a multi-day conference here in New Orleans. National Urban League President and former Mayor Marc Morial is joining us this morning with more on what's going on with the Urban League. And of course, there's no way to get around politics now.
The nation and politics. Eric, good to be with you and great to be at WWL and always great to be back home.
By the way, were you surprised at Biden suddenly on Sunday announcing that, and then the excitement for Kamala Harris?
I think I heard beginning last Thursday and Friday that his withdrawal was imminent. I didn't necessarily.
I heard that the week before too.
I didn't necessarily believe it, but given the sources,
yeah.
I began to think that there was some sense that it would happen. I think polling data and other things, I think the fact that he had COVID makes the reality of the situation a lot different. Kamala Harris's quick rise, enthusiasm, money, consolidation of support, I don't think anyone anticipated that.
Well, and the thing is, for the longest time we've heard from people when they poll people, they just want to see somebody younger. They don't want to see two old men in a battle they had in 2020.
And Eric, I think that's why the whole presidential race has been reframed instantaneously in a dramatic way as now the first Gen X candidate versus a baby boomer, someone 20 years. So now the conversation was about Biden's age. Now it's going to be about Donald Trump's age because he becomes now the oldest person to run for president, not to serve, but to run for president of the United States.
And a huge issue now taken off the table for the Democrats, that age issue, because that was going to be a big issue.
And also for the Democrats, the sagging enthusiasm of younger voters who didn't like their choice. They may have liked some of Biden's policies, but didn't particularly relate to Joe. And I think Joe Biden has been a consequential president, a good president, a decent man, someone I think who led the country back from the brink of COVID and an economic recession. So the issue is reframed. Kamala Harris, of course, has now this opportunity to step up, and I think now the conversation in the race is now going to be about the future of America, and less a look back and a comparison of two prior administrations, and more about record, yes, but vision for 21st century America.
And both of them, Mr. Trump and Vice President Harris, have both come out swinging on this.
And we're going to have a hard-hitting, competitive race. And I think while Americans may say they like less mudslinging, I do think that the stakes are so high, it's going to be competitive. So there's a difference between sharp debate, which is a debate about people's record, and casting aspersions on people. And what I hope is that the racism and the misogyny doesn't, if you will, engulf the conversation.
Because it already has started.
And because Kamala Harris, she's not the first African American, she's not the first woman to run for president. I mean, there's a historical component with respect to this, but the real question is going to be who can assemble the broadest coalition. The electorate of 24 is not the electorate of 20 or the electorate of 2016. And I think the under 40 voters, watch closely the under 40 voters. Most voters over 40 are probably determined and decided in how they're going to vote. Yeah, the under 40 voter is really where this election is going to be decided.
And they both have vulnerabilities in some issues. If they do get on the debate, Trump said the other day that he would debate her a couple of times.
You have to debate. The hand-to-hand combat, face-to-face debate and discussion is a fundamental feature of American democracy. We can look at all the commercials, we can listen to the rallies and the speeches, but I, as a candidate, I enjoyed hand-to-hand combat, one-on-one discussion and debating, and I think the American people are looking forward to this discussion and to this debate.
Now, what have we talked about at the Urban League meeting?
So, what's on people's mind? Project 2025, Eric, is on people's mind. Yesterday evening, people asked me, they are concerned about it. It's a manifesto. It's, in effect, a Trump agenda.
Although Trump has said he's not for it.
Yes, but Donald Trump has said many things before that were not truthful. So, his people put this together. And so while he sought to distance himself from it, he's not completely disavowed its ideas in toto. And it's a dangerous document. Reminds me of the old Southern Manifesto. It returns sort of America to the 19th century. So that's on people's mind. Voter engagement and defense of democracy is on people's mind. Civil rights, diversity, equity, and inclusion is on people's minds. Always education, always health, always housing are on people's minds. And I think the future of America and what the American future is going to be about. And I think the frame for most of us in the Urban League is the future going to be an America that is inclusive of everyone, or is the future of America going to be a return to yesterday?
Let me ask this. I'm out of time now.
Yeah.
Can you stick around for a couple of minutes
Yeah,
for the next half
I got a few
hour?
minutes, yeah.
All right, we'll come back in a couple of seconds.
Great.
You'll be able to find this conversation on our website, www.ltv.com, and a little more in our 8:30 half hour.